Sarah, I was just reading some research yesterday thinking about the holidays and prep, and I read that the American Psychological Association said 69% of people experience some kind of conflict during the holidays.
Okay, some kind of conflict.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little low, actually.
Do you?
Some kind of conflict? I think everybody I know has some kind of conflict.
During the holidays?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, offend anyone that's affiliated with the American Psychological Association, but I think you're wrong.
Yeah. I think you might be right, especially since you brought out some.
Yeah.
I think, even if it's not external conflict, there's got to be some internal conflict going on.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Also read that 45% of people would rather skip the holidays altogether.
Wow. Okay. Under half. I think that may be a little low too.
You think? Originally, I thought, well, wait a minute. Even though the holidays are hard, I don't want to skip it. But then, I thought about people who are going through grief or loss or illness or a job loss. And I thought, oh, yeah, that might actually, it's at least probably right on.
Even the political conversations can make people want to skip the holidays.
You're right about that. Yeah.
So
you're right about that. That's what we're talking about today. We are talking about the holidays, specifically family conflict and family expectations and what we can do about it.
Oh, this is going to be a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for joining us on This Might Be Triggering, a mental health podcast because avoiding your problems is so last season.
Join us for honest talk, relatable stories, and real tools for emotional wellness and relationships. It's not therapy, but it is therapeutic, with insight, humor, and something useful in every episode.
Sarah, you and I have been talking about this, getting ready for today, and we decided it really deserved its own episode.
I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family conflict and family expectations. So these are some of the things that our listeners told us come up for them around the holidays, and I'm going to read through them, and I know we're going to talk about all of them and really what we can do about it. So today we're talking about family conflict, family expectations, why it's important, and then what we can do about it.
Okay.
So I'll read out some of the conflict and expectations we identified. You can talk about why it's important, and then together we're going to talk about what we can do.
Can I chime in when we start listing the different conflicts about how I can relate to it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So we put in-laws and visiting schedules. Which family do we visit first?
Which family do we visit first?
Yeah, and managing all that. Old roles resurfacing.
Ah, that's a big one.
Yeah, right? That's such a thing.
It is such a thing.
The role you play in your family, and really this idea of recognizing that there is function in dysfunction in the families, that it's functioning the way it's supposed to in the family roles, and looking at that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can see that too, even with separating from somebody or a divorce. If you have to be under the same roof with the person that you're no longer with, that can old roles resurfacing of tension and stuff.
Old roles and new drama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a tough one. Parent-adult-child dynamics, parenting disagreements.
Oh, yeah.
Parents overfeeding, ignoring rules.
Grandparents overfeeding sugar. Yes. Okay.
Sounds like you might know something about that one.
This might be triggering.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being around the dinner table with extended family and political or religious discussions.
Yeah.
And somebody actually told me they did not want to do the holidays because they voted differently than their family, and they didn't want to deal with that. And it made me so sad. Can we just agree not to let politics tear a family apart? I've got very good friends who voted differently than me, and sometimes they want me to get in a discussion about it. And I said, I'm just not going to talk.
We're not going to.
I'm not going to fight with you over politics. I love you. You're my friend. I'm not going to fight with you over politics.
Well, I think there's this internal misinformation that we feed ourselves of, oh, I feel so passionately about this. I'm going to kind of yell at you and shame you so that you can think what I think. But it's like never in the history of ever does that work.
Ever.
I'm not going to yell at you and belittle you, and suddenly the person goes, "Oh, you know what? Now that you've said all those terrible things about me and the political party I affiliate with, I think I'm going to flip over to your side." It doesn't work like that. Just don't try to convince people,
Yeah,
especially over the holidays.
please. I love that you said never has there ever. Not has
Never
ever.
in the history of
Never,
ever.
never in the history of ever has anyone shamed you or yelled at you into coming over to their side. And that's so true.
Mhm.
I think asking questions and being curious, if you're in the space to do that, and I'm going to say the holidays when a lot of people are around is not the space to
It's
do
not
that.
the space to do that,
We love our listeners. Please don't talk politics during the holidays.
especially if there's alcohol in the house, you guys.
Oh, yeah. We could talk
Yeah.
even more about that.
Yeah, and we will.
Yeah.
We're gonna get more in depth in all these little topics.
We are. And
pulled
I,
up.
I just want our listeners to know why this is even important to talk about.
Yeah.
Is that these things and struggling over these conflicts, family conflict, family expectations, when we're struggling with these, it creates disconnection, anxiety, and those two, we can get through the holidays. We want to get through the holidays without them.
Also, it creates missed opportunities. A missed
Mm,
opportunity to enjoy time with your family.
so true. Yes. I love that.
Mhm.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's so good. Um, okay, go for it. You want to talk about in-laws and visiting schedule?
Yeah.
We're diving right in.
Yeah, well, I think we should dive right in.
Let's do
The
it.
listeners want us to just dive right in, right?
Yeah, because this is a good one and you want to be able to hear all of it.
Yeah, I think when it comes to in-laws and visiting schedules, one is talk to your partner first if you are married and with somebody, because part of in-laws and visiting schedules too is I'm the youngest of four. And so there was a point in time where my oldest brother and my sister who were married, um, they were navigating their in-laws, and so it ended up kind of having a ripple effect on me and like what I was going to do, because I either had friendsgiving or friend holidays or time with my boyfriend, which kind of did, it didn't trump the married couple with
Right.
kids, right?
Right.
So I think, there's one side of it if you're a sibling kind of being affected by it. But then there's another side of it if you're actually married and you're discussing with your husband what their traditions were and what your family's traditions were. And a lot of times they collide, because a lot of families growing up, it's like, it's Christmas Eve, we're together all the time, every
Right.
time. Christmas Day is reserved for whatever, right? And you can't be in two places at once. So I think communicating with your partner first is important, deciding what you both want, and then informing the families and taking them into consideration too. Don't want to just say this is what we're doing and that's all there is to it. I think there's room for a conversation once you guys make a decision, but supporting each other. It's a great time to support each other.
And I think it's different when you're married and you have children. There are family roles. We talk about this when we work with our clients, right? There's the patriarch, there's the matriarch. And if one of them is passed, the whole family dynamic changes for sure. And so I think being able to honor who they are, and also if you're married and you have children, I can remember when we had our kids, because I really help her personality. Well, we need to do this and we need to do that. And I really wanted to honor my mother-in-law as a new wife and try to please her and all the different complexities that come with that. I was really thankful when Sean said, we have children. They're waking up in our house on Christmas morning.
Yeah.
And he was able to put his foot down.
Yeah.
And he said, this is what we're doing. And I was really glad. So I think that you have to look at the situation and make those decisions.
Yeah.
And when you are younger, it is harder, or you're dating and you're not married yet.
Mm-hmm.
I know some families who have engaged children, they're already, well, we're going to share. Somebody gets Thanksgiving and somebody gets Christmas. And then you swap the
Which is
next
such
year.
an adjustment when you've grown up with your kid being with you every holiday.
adjustment.
It's such an adjustment. One thing that Ron and I decided early on was similar to what Sean said is Christmas Day is ours. We're not leaving the house. It is ours with our kids. That's once we had kids. Before we had kids, it was different. But sometimes we may get a little pushback about it, but it's like, no, that is a decision we made. It's a non-negotiable. And my mom, because again, I'm the youngest of four, so she's got four kids when they're different relationships to try to navigate. She decided early on, you know what? Christmas with me, Christmas with our family is going to be on the 23rd. It doesn't conflict with most people have Christmas Eve off, so it can be in the evening of the 23rd, even if you work that day. Most offices kind of let you out early. Not all, but a lot of them do. And we'll do it with our family on the 23rd. It doesn't conflict with anything on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And then it's close enough that it makes sense. So coming up with these different plans and ideas and collaborating is super important. And I understand not everyone has those type of relationships with either their own parents or in-laws. But I mean, I think try to come up with some type of plan that honors everybody and their wishes. But very important, you and your spouse have a solid plan and support each other in that plan of what that's going to look like.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
And that, again, our first episode about hacking your holiday and unplugging this holiday machine, we invited our listeners to create a holiday heart focus. And one of the things you and I said was presence, meaning being present with families and people we love over gifts. And you also said we make a column of what we feel pressured to do, then what we think we need to do. And then that last one is what are our values?
Yeah.
And I think holding that value of trying to find some type of connection and being able to listen and being able to stand firm and say, I love you and not I love you, but I love you and this is what we're doing for our family. I recognize that may be really hard.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that may be hard.
Yeah. Yeah, we have little example scripts that Jennifer and I worked on before. So an example script of how we can share with the in-laws our decision for our schedules is this year we're keeping it simple. We'll be with blank on this day and blank on that day. And just kind of very matter of fact, not in an ugly way, not in a, hey, this is how it's going to be and get over it. Just we're going to keep it simple and this is what we're going to do. And understand that you don't necessarily need to explain yourself. Just this is what we're going to do. And if big feelings are coming up for your in-laws or your parents, you're not responsible for their feelings.
No.
Say, I'm really sorry that this
as
is
long as you're
bringing
not
this
being
up.
ugly.
Yeah. I'm really sorry this is bringing up some heavy stuff for you, but we've got to honor what we've discussed. Or, we've had kids. So we really want to make our own. It's time for us to start creating our own memories with our kids. So.
Yeah. Our own traditions. It's really creating some new traditions.
Yeah.
And it's hard. We know that this is hard. It's easier said than done, especially, and we're going to talk about parent-child relationship.
Yeah.
Parent-child relationship.
Yeah.
Ooh, and you're talking about this next.
The next one, old family roles resurfacing. Okay.
And I love it. Name it and reset.
Yeah. Yes.
There's something in the knowing.
Yeah.
And that goes back to that, talking about the function of dysfunction. So when our role pops up, whatever that role we play in our family pops up, recognizing, oh, right, this is the role that pops up.
Yeah.
And being able to name it.
Yeah. I think one nice thing that we know because of our role and what we do being mental health counselors is that we understand that every family has different roles. And sometimes you're just kind of given the role and sometimes you kind of take the role. It's interesting because whenever, I'm the youngest of four, which I've shared a few times, but I'm the youngest of four. I've always been the baby. And, the line that I just would hear all the time growing up is, we'll tell you when you're older. We'll tell you when you're older. Like they would all be talking about something. I will tell you when you're older. And I'm like, I hate that. Well, now I am a 42-year-old woman with 3 kids. I have my own counseling practice. I think I'm an adult now. But it never fails when I'm with all my siblings and my mom and even with cousins and extended family. It's like I go back to that little girl role where I'm the youngest. I feel it. And part of it's happening with me internally, but another part of it is some people just can't see past that spot that I've always kind of fit in the family. So that can be hard. It can be hard. It can make you want to kind of avoid being with family. Again, that's why I feel like that 69% is a little bit low. Yeah. So whenever you feel yourself going back into these old roles, we have examples of the responsible one, the fixer, the peacemaker, which I can imagine that can be really hard if you're, kind of doing your thing and then you end up back with your family and you're like, oh, I'm the fixer. My husband's very much so a fixer. So I bet he can relate to this one. The responsible one, like feeling like you have to kind
Mm-hmm.
of, this bar has been set for you, whether you want it or not. So you can quietly say, that's my role. This is the name it and reset it, right? That's my old role. My adult self gets to choose differently today.
Yes.
So reminding yourself of that, that's not who I am anymore. That is my old role, and my adult self gets to choose who I am today.
Right. And I'm thinking about that peacemaker role and worrying about conversations at the dinner table.
Yeah.
I can remember someone saying something about my children one time, and it was just a silly, dumb comment. So tacky, so not necessary. It was something about how much they were eating or something, and being a mental health counselor, I was like, wow. Right. That's what wanted to come up. And I just
Mhm.
thought, you know, it's definitely not worth it. Made sure the kids were okay. And they were later, not then. I just kind of blew it off in the moment. There were 30 people there. It
Mm,
was not getting in someone's face or doing anything like that.
yeah.
Wasn't necessary. I did say, it's okay. They get to choose what they eat. So I said something about it, but it was kind.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go into any more of it, even though they kind of wanted to. I just said the same thing. It's okay. They get to choose what they eat and kind of brushed it off. And so thinking about that peacemaker and then the conflicts that can rise up and recognizing that's their stuff that they're bringing.
Mm,
And you can say small statements,
yeah.
short statements that shut it down. Do not get into a debate. Just say that short statement.
Yeah.
You know what? They can choose what they eat.
Hmm.
It's good.
Yeah.
Moving on.
You can also remove yourself.
You can absolutely
If
remove
naturally
yourself.
you're a little bit confrontational, which I definitely am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just saying, you know what? We're not going to talk about that right now, and we're just gonna go sit at another table. You
And
can do that.
and if they keep trying to engage, go to our triggering trauma episode. I think it's episode 6 in our podcast series. If, it might be a family member. This is a real thing, talking about dysfunction. It might be a family member who's really triggering and you only see them on the holidays. Maybe there's
Yeah.
some past trauma there
Hmm.
when you were younger. There could just be so much there. Being able to recognize that, being able to recognize your role in the family, and maybe taking yourself away,
Yeah.
recognizing that, excuse me, I'll be right back, going and taking a break. Maybe if you do have a spouse or another family member, you can just lean on and say, okay, if I give you that look, you smile at me and you know what I'm talking about when I give you that look
Yes.
because so and so is driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And in this moment, I just need to know that somebody gets me.
Yes.
So you're talking with them
You
ahead
need
of
that
time.
support.
You
Mhm.
need that support and they're just, and they've got you.
Yeah,
I love that.
I think that's a great idea because the trauma or the trigger the trauma that you've experienced with that person that is causing the trigger to happen is not going to be solved at this
It's
holiday get
not, that's
together.
so true.
And so just having a conversation with your partner of, hey, it's not going to get solved at this get together. Even if I had the opportunity to, I don't want to because it's not the right place or the right time. So I'm going to need your support when I give you that certain look or if I, act a certain way. Pull me and help ground me.
Yes.
Help me refocus and even sharing with them. That's this kind of mantra or script to kind of say to yourself, that's my old role. My adult self gets to choose differently today. Just help support me in that.
So good.
Hmm.
I love it.
Hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about parent, adult, child dynamics.
Mm,
Oh, that's fun.
that's fun.
That's really fun.
Yeah. Hmm.
I I use this a lot and I hope this resonates with our listeners because I think it's a really big deal. We always want to hear from our parent. I love you. Some form of this. I love you. I believe in you. You've got this. If you're parenting children, it really doesn't matter what age, your children want to hear in some form, I love you. I believe in you. You've got this.
Hmm.
One thing that really changed in a great way with my mom. I was premature, almost died. They wouldn't let my mom hold me for days. It was really tough. And so I grew up very small. My whole family would throw themselves in front of me in the car. This is back before seatbelts. Yes, I'm old. And they'd be like, "Save Jennifer." So you can imagine, I know, right?
That's
Funny.
adorable.
It is adorable unless you're growing up thinking that you can't do anything, right? That
Yeah.
the world's not a safe place. And so part of that, because, and I totally get it. My mom was always afraid of losing me, right? My younger sister, I'm one of six. My younger sister is different. And she had miscarriages after me, really sad. But I think underneath it, there was always something. She was afraid of losing me. And so in my adult self, I was able to say, "Mom, what I really want to hear you say is, I'm doing a good job," when I was parenting my children. And it has been so beautiful and really changed our relationship. I mean, I always loved my mom. I had a great relationship with my mom. And because we're talking about parent, adult, child dynamic. As an adult, you can say to your parent, "Mom, Dad, what I really want to hear you say is," doesn't need to be long. It can be short. You're telling them what you want to hear them say. Doesn't need to be mean. If they're going on and on, you can say, "Hey, Mom, Dad, what I really want to hear you say is, I'm doing a good job." Well, and if they keep talking about something else, you can say, "Oh, you know what? I love you. I'm getting a call. I've got to go."
Yeah.
Or, "Oh, I've got to get to work." You can interrupt it, because if you're noticing what you need in that moment, which is a version of, "I love you. I believe in you. You've got this." We want to hear that from our parent. It doesn't matter how old. Even our young kids, they want, I love you. You've got this."
Yeah.
When our kids are in junior high, please stop solving everything for them.
Yes.
That does not help with the differentiation of self process. Our adolescent kids need to hear you say, they don't need you to answer it for them.
Right.
They need to hear you say, "You've got this."
Let them be problem solvers.
Let them be problem solver. You still have your safe non-negotiables. We're not going to be driving before we've got our permit. And when we've got our permit, we're going to be in the car with them. We're going to follow the law.
Right.
Right? We're going to follow the law. We're going to find our values, our safe non-negotiables. It's okay that whoever's parents, let them be on their phone all day or during dinner. That's okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that
That's not what we're
here.
going to do here. Yeah.
Let them know, "I love you. I believe in you. You've got this."
Yeah.
And in our home, we put our phones up during dinner. It's the same with our adult self. That parent, that role
Yeah.
that we talked about, being able to say, "Hey, Mom, this is what I want to hear you say." And with that, right, with the holidays, they can get really upset if we choose something and they don't like it or they don't want it, or we've always done it this way, but we've always done Christmas Eve together.
Yeah.
Well, this is the only thing I want. This is it. This is the only thing I want. It's really hard to say, "Mom, Dad, I hear you, and we're doing it this way." And when they come back at you, you can say, "You know what I really want to hear you say is, I love you, and you recognize this is hard for me too."
Yeah.
Being able to say what you want to hear from your mom or your dad.
Yeah.
I think it's a big one.
Two things come to mind with that is, one, recognizing if you have parents who may be struggling with emotional immaturity.
Oh,
The lack of being able to sit in certain emotions, like, for example, not being like in the rejection, like they may feel rejection when you say, "Hey, Mom and Dad, this is what we're doing this holiday season," and they can't really sit in it. So what they do is they kind of project it back on you. "Well, because of you, you're making it difficult, and you're the problem."
You
Or
always have to get what you want. You always,
yeah, or even, "Hey, Mom or Dad, all I really need to hear is that you think I'm doing a good job and that you're proud of me." "Oh, well, I'm just the worst parent ever," right? And if you get a response like that, that is just an indicator of they're emotionally immature. And all that means is they are unable to sit in those emotions, those negative emotions that may be coming up for them. And so understanding, okay, I can say what I need to say. I may not get the reaction I want, but then I think also applying your circle of control. I can control what I say and how I respond, but I can't control how they're going to respond. So I'm going to tell them this. What can I control? I can control how I tell them. I can control how I react and what I choose to do with whatever they give me, but I can't choose. I can't control how they react towards me. And I hope if listeners are able to kind of identify with that, that
Yeah.
this kind of relieves them a little bit of, okay, my parents are emotionally immature. I may not get the response.
Don't tell them that.
Don't tell them. Please. That is not an argument.
Don't tell them, hey, you're really emotionally immature and I don't like how you're responding to me. No.
Well, yeah, that's going
not
back to that,
helpful.
thing I said with politics, right? If you shame somebody or call them a name or say you're emotionally immature, you're never in the history of ever is that going to make them go, "Oh, I should probably work on that." No, they're going to
Yeah.
continue to get upset, right? But just knowing within you, like I may not get what I want out of it, this conversation that I'm giving them, but and it could set expectations and also what can I control? I can't control what they do and what they say, but I can control what I say and how gentle and kind I am. So focus on that.
Yeah. Agree. And also to recognize that it is hard on them.
It is hard on them.
It is very
Yeah.
hard when many things, right? Your kids are young adults and they're working here or there and you don't get to see them. It is hard on them when they get older and they realize our parents do experience ageism.
Mm-hmm.
Ageism is a real thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't feel that their needs are wanted.
I feel like they don't feel important all of a sudden too. Like,
they're
oh,
trying to
you're with
find
your
their
family and you're with your family, but what about me? And that's a real, those feelings are real and I think it's worth figuring out with your family what it could look like to honor your parents and spend time with them. But again, when you're delivering the message on what that's going to look like, just be prepared for how a reaction could come and focus on what you can control in it.
Right. And we can only control ourselves.
We can only control ourselves.
We cannot control how they respond, and we cannot control how they feel. And for some people, this conversation might be too difficult to have.
It may.
And you can try texting,
Mm-hmm.
right? Hey, and now's the time to really think about the holidays, especially if you're grieving. We talked about that in the first episode, or your child is sick, or you've lost your job, things you may not be able to travel, right? It's okay to really look at what you need and what you can and can't do with your bandwidth.
Yeah.
We do want to make the holidays special. We do want to make them important. Think about your holiday heart focus. Create your own if you haven't. And think about how you can honor that and ask for what you want with your parents, as an adult now. I really want to hear you say. And if they can't do that, you can say, hey, I love you. I've got to go. Or, you know what? We'll talk another time. And it's okay to get off the phone. Or leave if you need to.
Walk away. It goes back to the circle of
To walk
control,
away.
right? You can choose if you stay or if you walk away.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about parenting disagreements with grandparents. This is tough. Grandparents play an important role. And I want to say something to listeners that came up for me when I went to see my counselor when I first had my children and they were young, which is that what really matters is what parents do and say to children. So if you're worried about what your in-laws may or may not say about family members or other people, you can recognize that children are like, oh, well, that's just grandpa or that's just grandma. What really matters is how we respond as parents. That's really important.
Yeah.
And I think when we're dealing with grandparents, like you said, focus of control. You can only control what you can control. Although safety's a non-negotiable, right? Not having a car seat, that's a non-negotiable.
Oh my goodness.
Parents don't get to take your kids if you don't have a car seat. So that's really important to remember. If your child is struggling with an illness, being able to have those non-negotiables. And some grandparents can't do it. And that makes it hard. But we just have to think about that.
Yeah.
Safety's a non-negotiable.
Mm.
A little too much TV time, that might be okay.
Yeah.
Sugar may be too much. Maybe that's a non-negotiable that you say, that you let grandparents know. Look, and if it's your spouse's parents, have them say it
Yes.
if you're together. But if you're not together and you are there, you need to be strong enough to say it directly
I mean,
to your in-laws.
I think it would be worth making arrangements with your partner to make sure that the non-negotiables that you as a couple have agreed on, that they share with their direct line of parents, their family, what it is, and then you take on your family. It shouldn't be one person's job to
No,
tell everyone, because then you can just turn into the bad guy for the in-laws, and you can turn into it's I say don't blur that line. Come, and that also is you being a team. That's a teammate. That's how you work. You're both working from the same playbook, right? We both agree this is what we're doing. Now you go. Now it's like, I don't know. I don't know much about football, but I know they go in like a huddle, and then they like say something, and then they all go do their thing. So it's like, let's huddle. This
we're a
is what we're
team.
gonna do. We are a team.
We
All
are a
right,
team.
we're all on the same play. Yes. Okay, go do it. Like,
Yeah.
go break off.
And I think that's important when it comes to this non-negotiable in general. I think one other thing that can be blurry, and this is really hard to do, it's very important though, is to not engage in triangulation. So if you do have a mother-in-law, for example, my mother-in-law is in heaven. At the time, though, one of the best pieces of advice that I got was to not go through my husband when I had a concern, to talk directly to her. And then to also say to my husband, if she's upset with me, please don't just let her say it to you. Say, Mom, you got to talk to Jennifer about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's about Jennifer. You talk to Jennifer. You and Jennifer have your own relationship, right? And so that it's not triangulation when it comes to that. And that's different than what we're talking about, non-negotiables in parenting. That's different. But when you have concerns, you want to directly talk to that person. And that can be very, very hard.
It can be hard. And I do think there is maybe an additional layer to this to consider is, if there are in-laws that just don't respond well to you, though, then eh, I think for because I've seen a dynamic where maybe the husband going to the grandfather for I don't know, his in-law, his
His
wife,
father-in-law.
his father-in-law. There
Yeah.
you go. The husband going to a father-in-law and talking to them. It's like the father-in-law just already doesn't like them and is upset that they're talking to them, and kind of brushes off like it's not that big of a deal. But now there's like whispering happening behind their back. I think if you do have a dynamic that maybe isn't healthy, like you cannot talk to your in-laws, I think in that situation, maybe it is okay just to have your partner who is related to who is son or daughter to the in-laws, just have them communicate to them only. But then it's always that way, right? There's not sometimes we're talking and sometimes they're talking.
I think it's really sticky. And if it's about, I think that direct communication just has to happen.
Yeah. There's
Even
some
if,
things that you can
yeah,
avoid it, right?
yeah.
But maybe with like, hey, sugar with the kids and things like that. It's like just stick with
That's a parenting non-negotiable. I think that's fine,
Mhm.
right? For that, like I would tell my mom, we're not doing this with the kids, right?
Yeah.
And she would get that and she would honor that, or dad. Although my dad would always do, my dad's also passed away. He would always do what he wanted to do too. And that was just Poppy, and Poppy got away with
tricky,
that.
yeah.
And we all loved Poppy, and Poppy was fantastic. And Poppy would just do, he would do whatever. He would definitely give too much sugar. And looking back now, of course, he's gone. Now my kids are adults and it's not that big of a deal. However, when we were working with the boys with ADHD, there was behavior
Yeah.
that was a non-negotiable. And I would definitely tell my dad that. I would definitely tell my mom that. Sean wouldn't do that. When it came to questions or conflict or concerns about a person,
Mhm.
I would say, Mom or Dad, talk to you got to talk to Sean about that. Sometimes that comes up actually with my mom and Sean, because Sean is very much more introverted and I'm extroverted. And I'm like, Mom, Sean's personality is different. You know that. You can talk to him about that. And she does now, and it's great. Whereas before, I was always in that role of trying to fix that for them.
Yeah.
And I was like, and that just made it worse between Sean and I. Sean's like, look, I am who I am. I'm not a big outgoing person. It doesn't mean I don't love you. I do love you. And he was able to say, Carolyn, I love you very much. I'm not a big outgoing person. So you're going to walk in the door. I may not say that all the time. I'll try to do better.
Yeah.
But it was so freeing when I just said, Mom, talk to him. Right.
So healthy. What a good example you are.
Well, I'm older. I've been through it a lot longer. And my mother-in-law's passed away and my dad's passed away. And I think at this stage in my life, it's different.
Yeah.
When my kids were younger, it was a very, very stressful and really, really hard.
Yeah.
And so I honor that and I get that. And that's why I think it's so important to be able to say, Mom, Dad, what I really want to hear you say is, I love you. I believe in you. You've got this.
Yeah.
So I like that one.
Okay. We've got a little script here.
You want to read it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
For the parenting disagreements with grandparents.
Yes,
we're
please.
flexible today, but one thing we're keeping consistent is blank. This is an example. This is a script example for the holidays. So
I love it.
We're flexible for today because it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever. But the one thing we're keeping consistent is whatever that is. Thanks for helping us with that. Which
love
is
it.
Definitely like, hey, we're assuming you're going to help us with
that. Positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, the last one.
Okay.
Dinner table tension.
Saving the best for last right here.
Politics, religion, hot topics.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw out a hot topic. You're probably going to think I'd talk about politics first. Looking back at when I was raising my kids, people definitely didn't necessarily agree with all the decisions I was making or doing. And everyone wants to give their advice. Everyone wants to give their opinion.
I mean, we love this unsolicited advice, don't we? Again, like never in the history of ever has unsolicited advice been loved.
Yes.
Work. It's not going to change it's not going to change your outlook or your,
Yeah. And one thing I can recognize now is everyone has their opinion. Everyone has their belief, and they really believe that they're right. I do this exercise all the time in session. What do you see?
I see a pen.
Can you tell me about it?
Yeah. It's a black pen. It's Sharpie brand gel. I mean, it looks like a very pricey pen.
Really?
It does.
What do you mean? What do you mean Sharpie?
Sharpie's the brand.
What?
Sharpie is the brand. It says Sharpie on it.
It does not say Sharpie on it.
It does.
No, it's this black stick. Yeah, it's a pen. It's got a gripper. I see a silver thing and a silver cup. There's no Sharpie on it.
There is on my side.
Oh, and when you turn it around, I love to do this because everyone has their own. It might be the same pen. It might be the same event.
Yeah.
For the family.
Yes.
But we've got two totally different perspectives.
Yeah.
On one side, you've got all this writing. On the other side, you don't. It's the same thing in life.
Yeah.
We bring with it our own perspective, our own filter, our own life experience, our family roles. And so when we can recognize that the other person, that perspective for them is valid.
Yeah.
This helps with politics too.
Yeah.
Their perspective is valid. We may not agree with it at all. We don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see the Sharpie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
It's not there. When I turn it around, right? This is a high level view.
Right.
But you get what I'm
that's a great way to illustrate
talking
that.
about. Yeah. So, a hot topic, parenting. It's okay that they don't agree with how you parent your children. You get to parent your children the way you want to. Doesn't mean you need to get in a discussion about it. Doesn't mean you need to get in a fight about it. Maybe if you've got that timeout or that secret look or something with your spouse and, oh, you know what? I'm not feeling well and I need to go. You're probably not feeling, we don't lie. We don't have to tell everything we know.
Right.
You're probably not feeling well. You're probably feeling anxious. That's fair. It's okay to leave if you need to leave.
Yeah.
right? You've got to do something safe or disengage.
Yes.
So let's talk about ways that we can disengage.
Mhm.
What are your favorite ways to disengage? Maybe it's the script.
If I said the script, I don't know that my family in particular, I don't know would receive it well.
Gotcha. Gotcha. It
The
might not
script
work.
says, I love you all, and I'm not going to debate tonight. I'm going to step away for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, but it may work well for some families.
It
And I
might.
think it is worth sharing, saying, I love you all. I'm not going to debate tonight, and I'm going to step away for a second. If that does resonate with you, use it. If it doesn't, figure out what you can say that basically is saying it's a kind exit. Hey, I love you all, making sure that that is established, or, whatever you need to say to give that message to them. But I'm not going to engage in this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hey, you go.
I love you all, and I'm not going to engage in this.
Yeah.
Both of those things are going to be true in this moment, and this is what I'm doing. See you
Yeah.
later, guys.
And changing the subject. So maybe you're the peacemaker in the family and everybody's doing all of their things and they're starting to talk politics and it's ramping up. Change the subject.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my gosh. Did you hear? Change the subject.
Yeah.
That's something you can do. It may be that you need to take yourself away, and that's
Yes.
fine.
You
Just take
and your
yourself
kids.
away.
Let's go into another room.
Yeah.
Let's go play. Let's go outside, look at the Christmas lights down the street. Let's go take a moment.
Yeah. If it's clear that it's escalating and you can't get away from that, that's a great solution. Disengage.
Yeah. Because the memory for your kid that day won't be, Uncle Joe and Uncle Tom screaming at each other
About
and me feeling
politics.
scared.
Right.
It'll be, oh, I looked at all the Christmas lights with mommy down the street, and that was really nice. What a great memory.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do what's right for you. Think about it ahead of time.
Yeah.
I think I said earlier, I have friends who vote differently, and I've told them before, I'm not going to, I refuse to fight over politics.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse. I love you, and I'm just not going to do it. And boy, they try really hard. Because people just love to come
Interesting.
at me with that. And yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight with you about politics.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Just today's not the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, not going to do it. So being able to disengage and take care of yourself. I'm going to throw one thing out there that I know we love to tell our clients: box breathing. In for 4, hold for 4, out through your mouth for 4, hold for 4. When our sympathetic nervous system starts getting on overdrive, we need to do that box breathing, which my cardiologist taught me, by the way.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have a heart valve thing and love my cardiologist. He's amazing in the medical center. I went to see him and he goes, do you do box breathing? And I went, that's a joke, right? I go, I'm a counselor. And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, no, I tell all my patients to do box breathing. He puts all his heart patients on box breathing.
Okay.
In addition to their medicine.
There you go.
Because he said it is so important to reduce that stress and turn on the parasympathetic nervous system, which tells us it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So box breathing for our listeners.
Okay.
Holiday heart focus.
Yeah.
For us, it's presence over presence.
Yes.
Box breathing.
Box breathing.
And really communicating compassionately about some of these things.
Yeah.
With the person you love.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the overarching theme here is, one, get on the same page with your partner first and foremost.
And if you don't have a partner, with yourself.
Yes, with yourself.
Right? If you don't have a partner, with yourself. Think about this. What's your holiday heart focus? What's your value? Whether you have a partner or not.
True. Yes.
Yeah.
Whether you have a partner or not. Yeah. Think about this, have a plan. And for most of these, a lot of it is when things start to get elevated outside of what you can control, pull yourself away from it. It's okay.
It is okay.
Because you are.
And you don't just say something about it.
You don't. Part of the holidays is one of the biggest stressors is you're around people who maybe you only see once a year by choice. Or maybe you're around people that you just don't really, you don't really gel with, but they're family.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. So kind of coming up with a plan and having an exit strategy for any of these things that come up is going to help preserve the holiday spirit within you and have
Yeah.
a positive experience.
Yes. And
Because
if you're
too often we feel like we got to sit there and just take it. Maybe that's what we've been doing for years. And it's like, well, no, I'm an adult now. I can walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you are going through grief, if you are experiencing illness, if you've lost a job, it's absolutely okay maybe not to do something this year.
Yeah.
Again, we're not promoting lying. You want to tell the truth, but you don't have to tell everything you know. Maybe what you say is, I'm just really not feeling well.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's really important because do you want to do our closes?
Yeah.
Our
Okay.
wrapping up, our closing themes
Yes.
that we discussed?
Yes. I'll say the first one if that's okay with you.
Please.
We can't pour from an empty cup. Let me say that again because I kind of, got ahead of myself. We can't pour from an empty cup.
And I'm going to add to that. Some of the people in our lives are buckets with holes.
Mm.
And so it doesn't matter how much you pour in, there's a hole in that bucket.
That's
We
such
just
a
want
nicer way to say
recognize
it because I say they're water suckers.
I'm saying they may.
They have holes
Some
in
people
their
in our
bucket.
life may be a bucket with hole. Maybe we're a bucket with holes, right? So it doesn't matter how much we pour into that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come out.
Yeah.
We can't fix it.
Yep.
Do you want to do the next one?
Sure. This season isn't about doing more, it's about being more present. So, presence over presence is part of that too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And also the social media episode, check that out. Talking about,
Definitely
that kind of ties in with that too. Unplug.
Definitely
Not about
unplug.
doing more, posting more, keeping up with the Joneses. It's about being present.
Okay to put it down.
It's okay to
Unplug. It's okay to have your half-lit tree. The secret out of the bag, only the front of my tree is decorated because the back of the tree is in a corner.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Don't waste the energy there.
It's okay.
Because you can't pour from an empty cup,
You
right?
can't pour from an empty cup. And we want this season to bring peace instead of pressure and connection instead of comparison.
Yeah.
Should we have Santa say goodbye?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. And happy holidays.
And happy holidays.
Thanks for joining us on This Might Be Triggering. We hope today's episode helped you feel seen and reminded you that you're not alone. If something resonated, share it with a friend, leave a review, or reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Stay connected with us at mentalhealthcounselinggroup.com or on Instagram at This Might Be Triggering.
And don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Keep empowering your wellness one self at a time.
And together we can change the world one relationship at a time.
This podcast is for educational purposes only. It is not therapy, does not create a therapeutic relationship, and should not replace professional mental health care. By listening, you agree not to use this podcast as medical or mental health advice or as a replacement for therapy. If you need support, please reach out to a licensed provider in your area. If you're in crisis, call or text 988 in the U.S. or contact local emergency services.